Steelrising is the latest Souls-like game from Greedfall developer Spiders. It is a lot of fun, and one of the earliest decisions that you will make at the beginning of the game is what class to play as. There are 4 choosable classes at the beginning of the game, and in this video series I'm going to talk about each class individually, what it's made up of, how it plays, the key starting weapons, and just some strengths and weaknesses. In today's video we are going to talk about the soldier class and everything involved with that class. So the soldier class is a good all-rounder class and is probably one of the most beginner friendly classes of the 4 available. Soldiers are strong fighters and can wield heavy weapons to perform physical attacks, so the focuses are here on physical damage. Like all of the classes at the beginning of the game, you get base boosted stats, and for the soldier those 2 stats are power and vigor. With power you gain a +3 to that stat, and power basically increases the physical damage and impact that you have on enemies. Impact of course improves the damage that you deal per hit and the ease at which you can stagger and knock enemies down. Vigor of course is all about increasing your endurance and the critical hit damage inflicted on enemies. Endurance obviously is incredibly important because that does affect your stamina bar and of course how many dodges and attacks you can make before Aegis's motors ultimately overheat. So 2 pretty important stats which are already boosted there for the soldier. So what are the starting weapons that you get with this class? Well, the main melee weapon that you get is called a Greedfall halberd. It is a heavy spear type weapon that keeps the player at a distance from their targets, allowing them to stab and thrust at an enemy while keeping a relatively safe distance. The basic attack damage starts with this class at 64, so it's pretty decent damage, not as strong as the bodyguard's hammer, but still pretty decent. You can use R1 for light attacks and you can string these together into some pretty cool looking combos. My personal favorite is the charged thrust heavy attack, which is mapped to the R2 button. It feels great to unleash and it causes huge damage, knocking enemies down, and one of the coolest parts of it is that it can actually hit multiple targets at once if you line them up just right, which looks and feels incredible. The jump heavy attack also does really good damage and it is a great finishing move to use. Soldiers are all about dodging, as the based weapon doesn't have a blocking move, so watching enemy attack patterns and keeping an eye on your stamina bar is even more crucial to surviving as the soldier. It does make up for the lack of a block though with a great special move in the form of a ranged attack shot, allowing you to whittle away at enemies' health bars from a safe distance before moving in to finish them off. The soldier does also come equipped with an explosive grenade. This is a projectile that can knock over an enemy, causing a good amount of damage in the process. It's one of my favorite starting grenades and I love to use them, especially against bosses. So what are some of the strengths and weaknesses of the soldier class? Well, there are quite a few. Let's talk about the strengths first. Of course, this is a well balanced class, so it does offer a good mixture of both ranged and melee combat. The weapon, while it is a heavy weapon, does feel quicker and more responsive than say the bodyguard's hammer. This means that it's easier to handle and to chain together attacks, and it doesn't leave you as open or vulnerable to attack as the bodyguard's hammer does. And it's one of the easiest classes I think to get to grips with, which is why I think it's a really good beginner level class, and it offers a good amount of damage input to feel both powerful and survivable. It's good for those players that don't really like to get as close to the action and prefer to keep a safe distance from the enemy. The charge thrust move as well, like I said, feels great and it can hit multiple enemies at once, which is really awesome. And yeah, that's a great attack and a great move. Let's talk about one of the main weaknesses for the class, and this is the fact that the ranged attack does use a consumable ammo which is called alchemical capsules. These can actually run out, so if you run out of ammo, this actually can make your special move completely unusable. You will find yourself buying the capsules for anima essence at shops instead of using the essence to level up your character. So that's definitely one of the downsides of this class. Enemies do drop these capsules too, so you can pick them up for enemies, but you may not want to pair the soldier with a secondary ranged weapon like the musket that I mentioned in the bodyguard video, as this will cause you to work through your ammo a lot quicker. So you may choose to pair it with a melee attacking weapon instead of a ranged weapon, particularly if you're wanting to save that ammo for your special on the halberd. So the soldier class, like I said, it's a great all-rounder class. I've really enjoyed playing it, enjoyed my time with it, and I do think it is a class that people will be able to get used to pretty quickly. So it's a very good starting class, particularly if you're new to Souls-like games. I think it may well be one of the best classes to begin with, because it does have a lower skill ceiling, and it is easier to get to grips with it, and it does do a really nice, you know, range between melee and ranged attack. So it's one of the elements of the class that I really enjoy, and it does allow you to keep the combat nice and varied, and it's a mixture of melee and ranged, and I actually really enjoy that element of it. So that's why I do really enjoy the soldier class. But there's everything that you know about the soldier class that we know. This is of course a beginner's guide. This is not an end game video. This is all about, you know, understanding the class when you're choosing it at the start of the game. Hope you guys found this video of course useful. If you do have any questions about the soldier class, please do post those in the comment section below, and I will do my best to answer them as much as I can. Let me know what you guys think of the class when you do get hands-on in the game. Let me know what you think of it, and of course, yeah, I hope you guys found this series useful and informative. I am going to be back again with more videos on this. I have 2 more classes to cover, and the next class I will be talking about is the dancer, so please do look forward to that. Anyway, hope you guys have a great week, of course. Take care, and as always, happy gaming. Bye guys.